let's move on to another thing. Jack, you saw this video. You said you made some notes. You said in the email you'd made some notes. So what do you have to say? What's one thing that you want to talk on? We'll touch on like general things as well, but let's go through some specific things you want to talk about. You have something there?
Sure. I guess we can stay on the topic of audience connection. You know, even in a sort of showy act like both of these, where there's no story concept and the character is I'm the best juggler in the world. I really don't think it's enough to just put your arms out and like, you know, do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, a T-pose and say hey and throw your arms up after accomplishing some feat. I think you know, just like you were talking about the importance of your eyes, I think nuance is kind of important in selling yourself as a performer. And one good example of this that I found was the ring fan thing, as cheesy as it is.
Yeah.
You can really tell the discrepancy in how it's sold by each respective performer. And Anthony's actually able to get a laugh out of it too by doing it.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. I was just going to bring it up. I was going to say, yeah, let's look at this on the video. So it's this the 7-ring breakdown is such a classic trick. You know, I'm playing it now. Can you see this one with Willie? I think you guys can see this. So he's doing his rings, okay, and he puts one over his head, and then. Wait, what's going on? Like, for example, like, he doesn't understand that the trick is one trick. This is it. Like, there's the logic that he has is that he's going to go down and up again. But if you actually see, he does another trick inside the trick. Like, the 7-ring breakdown is one over the head, one between the legs, one under each arm, okay? And he starts off with his juggling, and he puts one over his head, and then he goes into 6-ring sync. He does a 6-ring trick, back into 6 rings, comes out of 6-ring sync again, then puts one under each arm, and then puts one between his legs. And then, what's that move? What's he do there? Like, he...
I missed it. I didn't even see that.
Okay,
like the first time we watched it through, I didn't even see him doing this.
Yeah,
he's lifting weights.
That's the thing. The movement that he's doing isn't the movement which is the trick, and he actually adjusts it. You see there? He does it, and he wafts it up and down, and then... He doesn't even finish the gag of, like, fanning his face. Let me get a ring. I've got one over here. So what he does, he just lifts his arm up and down. He just goes like this, and you don't even see it as a fan. If you fan yourself, there's actually a fanning motion, which is this. Whoo, like this, whoo, and you see Anthony Gatto do this, but even before he doesn't even understand what Anthony Gatto is doing. Anthony Gatto isn't just moving his arm up and down. What he's doing is fanning himself, and then by the end of Willie moving his arm up and down, then he just adjusts his ring. So you're like, what's he like? Again, it's not just about selling the trick; it's about understanding what you're communicating with the audience. Anthony Gatto is like, whoo, like this is like, oh, I'm really like that was really crazy. You know, that was really crazy. I almost didn't get that there, and I'm like, whoo, like this. Yeah, so it's one of those things sort of like the connection to the audience is like you have to understand what connection you're trying to make with the audience. Like Willie doesn't understand that the point of this trick is that he's suddenly in this really weird, uncomfortable position, and he just doesn't. He's just not doing it. You know, it's not there. Like, let's go back over and let's see Gatto doing the same trick. I'm sure I can just get forward here. Is this the 7 rings? Yeah. So here we go with Anthony Gatto doing the same trick. Oh, I've got to turn him down. Why is he so loud all the time? So one over his head, one between the legs, one under the arm, and here. First of all, now what he's doing is communicating. This is really difficult. There's only one time that Anthony Gatto is shuffling around on stage, looking uncomfortable and not quite knowing he does it. And he does it on purpose. He does it. It's all choreographed here. When he goes down and he's got one over his head here as well, the last ring that he's going to catch when he goes down to 3 rings, he just chucks it over his head behind him. He literally just throws it over his head behind him to make himself run back across the stage to catch it so then he can sell the moment. Like, he literally, when we watch this back, he literally throws the ring backwards over his head to make this into a more fun, dramatic moment. Watch, here we go. Whoop! Look, he just chucks it all the way back. He doesn't need to chuck that there. But he understands that the one time that he has to move across the stage is the time when he's got a ring between his legs, and that makes it difficult. Like, if if he didn't have the ring between his legs, he would just be able to run back over there and nobody would care. But because he's got a ring between his legs, he wants to show people how difficult it is to juggle with a ring between, or how difficult it is to move with a ring between my legs. So to demonstrate that, he throws the ring backwards over his head. Once he's thrown the ring backwards over his head, then he can do the catch, and then he can go, whew, I almost didn't catch that ring because I had to run backwards across the stage because the ring was between my legs. So when you actually break down what Anthony Gatto has done to get to this point where he's standing on stage going, whew, I almost caught that, to build up to that, selling that trick, he's had like 4 things going up to that. You know, he started juggling, he's put the clubs under like between his legs, he's thrown the ring backwards, he's run backwards looking really weird, like this, running backwards because he's got all the stuff trapped in him, and then he catches it, and then he can go, oh, I only just caught that was out of control. And that's where the fanning motion comes from. The fanning motion only works because he set it all up for that. So if you're trying to make a connection with the audience with like a cheesy, silly trick, like fanning your face with a ring, like going, whew, I almost didn't get it, and while juggling 2 rings, it's super cheesy, but he understands, or he's come to an understanding with Anthony Gatto I'm talking about here. He understands every single thing that's going on. He nails every single thing, and that's what makes him into a great performer, because he makes that connection with the audience. It's, you know, he set up his character at the start, and his character is, I'm super confident, I'm all good. This is this one moment of vulnerability in this whole act, and it's fake, and it's put on, and he sells it perfectly, and it goes down perfectly with this. I mean, you can even hear it in with the audience as he's doing this. Like, they even stop the music for the... They stopped the music for the applause line, and then the music kicked back in. I think it's sold so well, and you could just dismiss it. Oh, he's just doing difficult tricks, but no, the clarity of thought, the clarity of what he's actually selling now with his body movements and the fanning motion. I do that in my show. I'm always thinking, like, what is the reaction that I want from now, and where do I stand on stage to get that reaction? How do I move to that point on stage for that reaction? Although I'm not the subject of this workshop, these guys are. So let's stick with these guys. Okay. All right, that's good. Anything else about this point, Thomas, that you want to cover? Oh no, who's this? Jack, this was your point, and you wrote this note down, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually kind of like what you said about, you know, that creative process of your own, which is like starting with the result that you want and then working backwards to achieve that. Whereas like Willie probably just said, I want to do a 7-ring breakdown.
Yeah.
And then that was the end of it.
No, I don't even think he did that. I don't even think he thought that. I think Willie thought, Anthony Gatto does a 7-ring breakdown in his routine, I will do that.